ding. And there's a bell. What is up, boxing world? This is Boxing Vibez TV, and we coming right back at you, giving you the best boxing analysis on YouTube, Spotify, Stitcher. Y'all gonna make me go all the way through it.
All that, man. All that.
Name it, man.
We out here,
We
man.
claim
I
it,
see
baby.
it.
We out here.
Google Play.
The tribe, the boxing vibe. We
Red
always
Circle.
live, baby. What else you got?
Exactly. So let me go ahead and introduce the crew as I do. We got JD in the building.
Y'all already know it is 8-1 trade all day.
We got Superman Q in the building.
What's going on, good people? I'm in the building. I'm chilling, and I'm, you know what I'm saying, trying to
And you
build
got
like
yours
a
true,
brick in the building, in the mortar.
J Box. Obviously cannot moderate the madness as he's being interrupted. So,
Hey,
but that's what we do, man. We out here just talking boxing, man. So go ahead and give him the pie quote of the day, man.
Pod quote of the day, and this one, hey man, this was gonna be very, very short and sweet, and this is from none other than the biggest mouth in boxing, Ramirez, who was about to fight Tank Davis. Very short and sweet, man. And it's a quote saying what he thinks gonna happen in the fight, and Rolly just said, "Tank is about to get knocked out. Anybody who don't believe it, screw themselves." And that's why Rolly Ramirez.
did he say that, bro?
He said it exactly like that.
Hey man, shout out to Rolly Ramirez. Number one, hey man, you always gotta have self-belief. Always remember that in life, kids. If you listen to this, you gotta have belief in self.
Yeah. You know, there's a saying, it's very southern and it has a double meaning. And they usually say, bless his heart. And so it's a double.
Well put.
Bless his
Bless his
heart.
heart.
Bless his heart.
Bless his heart. So JD, go ahead and
Y'all see him beating up the pinata with Tank head on it, bro? Y'all see him knocking the pin, man.
Hey man.
It's gonna be fun, bro.
Hey, you say he was knocking a pinata with Tank head on it?
Man, left hook to he had a pinata out there, man. I don't know, TMZ, whoever it was. He had to beat the hell out the pinata, had Tank head on it. And he just, you know.
Bless his heart. JD, go ahead and tell the people what to do.
Hey man, with that being said, everybody out there, far and wide, if you're down with the vibes, hit the notification bell and subscribe.
Great matchup. Thank you, boxing. Don't ever leave us again. I understand there was a pandemic, but we're so happy you're back. Fights.
Happy.
Please don't go away from us. Please
don't leave me, girl.
Oh, man,
we can get out street, whatever it may
we was all in the music video at the window with the rain coming down. Like,
well, y'all didn't know I had that, boy.
Kill him.
All right, so moving on, man. Pie quote of the day was about this fight, and I will say we can go back in the archives. I accurately predicted that Tank's next fight would be against Rolly Ramirez. And I say that because when Floyd came out and said after the Mario Barrios fight that we're going to keep it in house, there was only one name that just profile wise and record wise that fit the bill, and that was Rolly. And now we're getting that fight. I got some strong opinions about why the fight's being made. But I'm gonna kick it to you guys, and I'm gonna let JD go ahead and take it, and you guys, have at it. So go ahead, JD. What you got on it?
Hey man, I'm gonna tell y'all right now. Rolly about to knock Tank out, man. He about to knock Tank out, man.
Bless his heart,
man. I'm trolling. Nah, that ain't about to happen. I'm gonna tell you right now, man. I salute, because you did say that the Rolly fight potentially would happen. Because I know with Tank, the Mayweather model right now has been, we're gonna go target a foreign fighter with a large fan base who we have a relatively good shot at beating. So it ends up being a win-win, where you probably got better skill than them, Tank. And on top of that, you have a fighter who has enough of a fan base that it's going to generate a good amount of pay-per-view. So their model has been pretty good. So I'm not going to lie, I wasn't thinking that they would give Rolly to Tank this soon, but I have to admit it's a very savvy move right now, because if you're not gonna land the foreign fighter with a whole country behind him, what better than some dude who's going to yap nonstop 24/7 and be all over TMZ and everywhere talking trash to drum up interest in the fight.
Right.
So at minimum, if there's anything that people are going to tune in to see, they're going to at minimum tune in to see if Rolly either touches Tank or see Rolly get knocked out himself with all the trash talk he got going on. So I'm going to say that I'm surprised that this fight is transpiring. But nevertheless, man, I think it's going to be highly entertaining for however long it lasts. I don't know how long this fight is really gonna go on. But without a doubt, man, we all get to tune in to the Rolly Ramirez live show for the lead up to this fight and get entertained by the different shenanigans and the different statements that Rolly will continuously say
with a straight face. That'd be
right.
funny.
With a straight
with a straight face, bro.
Right. What you got on the queue?
Yeah, man. You know, I like this fight. I think sometimes in boxing, man, we gotta have just some fun moments. Some fun moments, man, by some colorful personalities, you know what I'm saying? And I feel like, you know, this fight will, because Rolly ain't nothing but a slugger. He no skill. he swinging for the fences now. He a big puncher. He a big boy, but Tank finna, you know, he gonna make him pay. However long it lasts, I feel like Tank gonna get him out of there. And you know, Rolly probably gonna be talking trash after he wake up. You know what I mean?
Right. Most definitely.
Because he going to sleep. Yeah, that's what I got, man. I'm very excited, man. I'm enjoy the whole thing. We're gonna have some pod quotes.
Most definitely.
We're gonna get some material, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Hey, we might have a new AB. He might be the new AB, man.
Straight up.
No. Let's not do that.
There's only one AB, you know what I mean? But, you know.
AB was supremely talented, who whether look good.
Most definitely. No doubt about it. But we talk, you know, just on the entertainment side.
Yeah,
on the entertainment level.
I don't know if he's creative as AB either, though, man. That boy got on his knees and say, "Hey, I want to ask you,
will you brush my hair?
Will you brush?
Would you please?
That boy there, boy.
Please brush my hair."
You gotta love AB on a lot of levels, man. Shout out to him and his mental health, and hopefully he's prospering whatever he's doing right now. And hopefully, you know, we see him in the ring in the right mindset, and he gives us a performance so we can remember. Rolly, man. So I don't want to start off completely dismissing the idea of Rolly as a fighter, right? He's at what, 14?
You think Rolly is a knockoff?
he's 16-0, maybe. I think he's you guys correct me if I'm wrong. I know he's in the teens and he's undefeated, right?
He's in who? Right.
He's in the teen as far as victories. He's in the teens, yeah.
Okay.
And he's undefeated, right? So what I will say is what you don't want to happen if you're Mayweather. You don't want some guy to come in there and beat Rolly and then you lose that Tank fight as far as the attraction of it. Because if people are like, Gervonta is already going to be such a heavy betting favorite, right? Because anybody who watched boxing, you know, is probably going to see like, okay. But promotion is not for guys like us. Like, they don't have to promote the Jamel Herring, Shakur Stevens fight to guys.
We watching anyway.
We watching anyway. You can just send us a text, hey, the fight on, and we're going to tune in. The promotion is for Joe Public, right? You want him to get attracted. Like, who is this? Oh man, this is a big fight. Oh, they're making a big deal. So they go to the bars, they have these fight parties. So that's what Rolly is for. Because I you know, as great as Tank is and where he is in his development, like his defensive prowess has become top notch. He can't promote a fight to save his life. He just doesn't have a personality. That's just not him. You know, he's not that yapper. He's not, you know, he does his business in the ring.
He ain't no talker.
Yeah. And so shout out to TMT, man. They're doing a fantastic job of making Tank into a star without Tank having to run his mouth, man. Yeah. Think about it.
Yeah.
Think about it. We were in Atlanta to watch the Mario Barrios fight and supporting, you know, boxing as a whole that night. The house was packed. Everybody was rooting, you know, going crazy when Tank was getting his, you know, doing his thing. But Tank don't got a lot to say, man. He just go to work. And shout out to TNT, man. They're really promoting that do well. But shifting it to Rolly.
Go.
No. Go ahead, man. You know,
all I was about to say is, man, it's interesting because this is another fight where if we keep it 100, if we really keep it 100, sometimes when we watch fights get made for the underdog, if we keep it 100, they'll say that it's about winning, but it's not always about winning when you're the underdog sometimes. And this is another scenario where we have the trifecta that could possibly happen, and it all depends on Rolly. And when I say the trifecta, I mean, A, Tank's going to get a fight that he kind of should win, make a nice check, right? B, fans are going to get an entertaining and nice fight. And then C, for Rolly, is really not about winning, bruh. If you can just get in there and show people glimpses of you possibly being a viable opponent, you raise your own stock, even in a loss, probably. So, you know, this is one of those rare fights where I think, like you said, J-Box, Tank's going to be the heavy betting favorite. Like, hands down, everybody betting on Tank. But it's going to be intriguing to see with Rolly, if Rolly, even in a loss, can raise his own stock by not getting blasted out in 2-3 rounds and looking like a scrub. So I'm looking forward to seeing if Rolly can raise his own stock, even in a loss, which we all expect.
Right. And so to keep it short and sweet about Rolly, so I ain't taking up too much time, I'm of the opinion he's a TMT guy, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
And I think the way Mayweather runs his outfit, if he tells you you got this fight, you fighting. You know what I'm saying? And so I think, you know, they're like, hey, you walking into an ass whooping. In their mind, I know Rolly's not thinking like this, but it's for the greater good. You're gonna get a check, and we building up TMT, and we building up our cash cow and Tank. But in defense of Rolly, I think he truly believes, as he should believe, that he can win this fight. Stylistically, I just think he's tailor-made for Tank. Looping puncher, you know, a little off balance. I see multiple knockdowns. I see him getting hurt. But also too, you know, he has the reach. He is the bigger opponent. He could land one on Tank to really kind of, you know, freshen Tank up a bit and make him wake up.
We get to see Tank being hurt. You know what I'm saying? See how he bounced back.
Right.
Questions.
Hey, listen. This is a reoccurring theme. Maybe Rolly has some questions to ask a Tank. You know what I'm saying? So I very much doubt it. But after seeing what happened, you know, with Mikey Garcia, as Kevin Garnett said it, anything is possible. So, man, after I told that horrible joke, man, let's go on and connect the whiff, right?
Connect the whiff.
And so we've seen this over and over. There was an appetite for boxing that was left unsatiated because of the pandemic, right? You know, boxing was severely behind the curve. They weren't on MMA's level or a lot of major sports that were organized and giving us a good product, right? So we were missing a lot of fights. Open the door, stage right, whatever. Here comes the celebrity boxing stuff that a lot of people spoke out against, but they were just feeling a need, right? Or feeling a want. There's supply and demand. People are used to their boxing. Even if boxing takes a back seat, boxing is a staple. Yeah, it's a staple. You know, you don't know you miss it till it's gone. And that's the average Joe public who may not love boxing like we do, but you know, they do like their boxing. And so with that being said, I'm prefacing this to say this next connector with James Toney doing an exhibition at 53 in Mexico should be happening. Connector with. Go ahead, JD.
Man, I'm gonna say whiff, man. All of these fighters, man, who are in their 50s, who we can clearly hear, and I'm just gonna keep it 100, man. We can clearly hear slurred speech in James Toney. You know, we can clearly hear and see the damage that the sport of boxing did to him as a fighter. I'm sorry, but at that point, you should no longer be putting yourself in any type of position to take any kind of shots to the head. And I do not like the scenario of him going to Mexico, because we all saw essentially after the Holyfield debacle, you know, how suddenly a lot of states were like, all right, that was wrong. We can't let some of these older, you know, beat up fighters get in the ring and have further damage. So I really don't like it.
They pulled the Riddick Bowe fight for that.
Yeah. Exactly. They pulled the Riddick Bowe fight. And so for me, I don't like it, mainly because with James Toney, I love him as a fighter, but we see the damage that boxing did to him. And so in no way, shape, or form should he be stepping in the ring, especially not going to Mexico, bruh. You never know what could go down over there, bruh. Like, I'm sorry. So it's a whiff for me.
What you got on the queue?
Big whiff, man. Big whiff. I don't want to see it, man. Part of me, you know, I want to see. Don't know what guy's financial situation is, but at the same time, man, worry about their health. Cause, you know, if you around here, man, if you dead, it don't matter what your financial situation is. I mean, I want to see you. You know, James Toney is a good dude, man, and amazing fighter. Yeah, I don't really. And the Mexico thing don't help it at all, you know, because I know they got a whole nother level of their jurisdiction is on the. You know, I don't even know why it would even be in Mexico, but that definitely. Right. That was very skeptical to me. Made me want to, you know.
I'll tell you why. So I I hate to, you know, to interrupt and throw my 2 cents in. I like to let y'all have full, but I do have I think some information that's valuable to the show and valuable to the public, why they should be mad at this fight. So number one, nobody in the States will probably sanction this fight. I don't know if anybody's followed you know, James Toney and Shannon Briggs on IG or Twitter, but they were trying to drum up interest in a fight. Right. And I think there was licensure or you know, issues with James Toney being approved to fight. To give you more of a backstory, some years back, and when I say years back, I mean about 10, maybe even 15, but more so about 10. I'd say it's safe to say about 10 years ago. Oh no, it was about 15 years ago to be precise. They did a special documentary on brain injuries, and James Toney was one of those athletes that they studied and reported on. I don't know if you remember, guys. He was popped for steroids later in his career. Right. What they didn't tell you was when they were, you know, at the time. What they exposed in the documentary was there's some correlation between testosterone levels and brain injuries. So what happened was James Toney's testosterone levels were so low, or his body was stopping that he had to get treatment for it, and he wasn't telling anybody. That's how significant his brain damage was.
Damn.
So this is not just a situation that, oh, he's too old. No, it's already been reported on by, I think it was HBO documentary. He has brain damage. He's had to have testosterone treatments to treat his effects from the sport. So I do worry about James Toney and his health, as him being one of not only just the most entertaining personalities in the sport, but one of the greatest fighters, greatest middleweights of all time, and really a guy who's gone up from 160 to heavyweight, and no matter who he was fighting at any given time, at any stage in his career, when he was still viable, it was a good fight because he had the skill level, he had the heart, he had the chin. Right. You weren't just running through James Toney. So Detroit in the house, but I really think this is a whiff, and people who are handling James Toney should really protect him and stop him from this fight, because there's no assurances in another country, as we saw Roy Jones go over to Moscow and get his head knocked off a few times. Right. I really hate seeing this, but there was an itch right?
Yeah.
There was a hole to be filled that gave a lot of older fighters an idea when they saw all these celebrities stepping in and making money. And hey, maybe I can lace it up one more time.
Right.
This is not what Mike Tyson and Roy Jones did.
Right.
This is not that.
Right.
What happened with Holyfield is not that. What was about to happen with Riddick Bowe and Lamar Odom was not that. What's going on is something different. And I really, really hope James Toney comes out of it okay. Boxing by nature is exploitation, right? You pay guys and everybody watches these two guys beat each other, up. But some point in time, there has to be somebody to say enough is enough. And I think this is a time where they should say enough, because I feel like he's being exploited. Like he got exploited by the UFC. I think he fought Randy Couture.
Right.
And this was even after the report came out about his brain damage and his testosterone levels. And so
he got choked out, right?
Yeah, he got choked out. And it was something to me where like, oh, look at the boxer get beat up. I was like, dude, he can't even, he's so messed up, his body can't even produce its own testosterone. You know what I'm saying? Right. There's a lot to unpack with James Toney, and not to disrespect him, because he's one of my favorite fighters and he's a legend, but it's out of care that I really don't want to see this. So I'll let you guys go ahead
and I'll just say one more thing. We'll go to the next connector with what I will say. When I see, and salute to all of our legends, whether it be Roy, Tyson, Riddick Bowe, James Toney, all of them. I love all of them. Yeah, I love all of them as fighters. The one thing I will say though is, for all of us watching, it is kind of a cautionary tale, because even though we aren't fighters, we have to realize that when we're in, the prime of our adulthood, you got to stack your racks, brother, because it doesn't seem like it, but 55 and 60 years old is coming at some point. And like you said, J-Box, it always makes you cringe a little bit when you watch people getting into their mid 50s and at that age having to sell out for dough and for money when hopefully they should be kicked back. So, I think there's a lot of lessons, to learn from these legends who at advanced ages are still having to put themselves at risk over, trying to get some money, to keep surviving.
Right. And so I know we kind of belabored that point. So we're going to move on to the next connector with, but I think that topic in particular and connected with deserved a little bit of overtime. So I hate this next connector with. So Eddie Hearn came out and said that DAZN, and shout out to DAZN because they've been giving us some great fights, will eventually switch to the pay-per-view model.
Don't do it, Eddie. Oh, don't do it.
Connector with fight fans should be disappointed. Go ahead, Q.
Hell yeah. Connect. Shit. Matter of fact, if they start doing that before my year subscription over, I need a full refund. You know what I mean? Straight up. I just told my son because I can't find a password.
Man.
I'm like, bro, we can't find the password, but go on order and I reimburse you. And then I'm gonna send him a text message to say, don't do it.
Yeah, don't do it. Go ahead, JD.
Hey man, I ain't gonna lie, man. It's a connect for me too. Again, this is just showing us that DAZN, they were holding on for a little while, and then I think they got things back together, getting Canelo over there. But what is really showing is that ultimately they don't have the bag to pay for like a Canelo type fighter or some of these major fighters. They don't have the bag to pay them and keep up their model. So what we all thought was going to be great long term is something special is essentially, man, they about to just become ESPN Plus at this point, or Showtime. I mean, pretty much they're going right back to the same old premium model.
I'm not going to say too much on this because I'd like to let you guys take it over, but I will say this.
Maybe they need to join with Triller. They need to form a pack.
I'm just going to say it like this. Televised boxing, the shit ain't been right since HBO's been gone.
Right.
Since you've been gone.
Right.
Shit ain't been right. HBO, you broke our hearts. Had Jim Lampley breaking down, crying on TV. Roy Jones tearing up, man.
I'm trying to tell you.
HBO, man. Yeah, that was my childhood, man. I was the weird kid on Saturday night, like 12, 13 years old, watching boxing matches. You know what I'm saying?
In Italy.
Yeah, just come on, man. Come on, man. Y'all.
Were you eating beignets?
Okay, so you want to be funny? That's French. Sounds beach, as the French in France.
No,
say.
you talking some spaghetti, huh? Some spaghetti.
or as Charles Barkley say, beignet balls. But anyway, Benoit balls. Hey man, that boy that was fool, man. All right, moving on to
but that's funny, but on Chuck beignet balls.
Moving on to connecting with the PFC Pillow Fighting Championship is a real thing. Connecting with, you would attend a pillow fighting contest. Go ahead, JD.
Ooh, hey man, pillow fight. Hey man, listen. Let me think about this one for a second. Hey man, that's a connect for me, man. That's a connect. That's a connect, man. I ain't gonna lie to y'all, man. I would at least, hey man, some sporting events you gotta try once, man. You gotta try once. I would go try this just once. I see the look you're giving me, brother. I see, but I'm just saying, man, I would go see this shenanigans, because some things you gotta see in person for yourself. And I would go watch this shenanigans just once. So it's a connect for me, man. It's a connect.
Go ahead, Q. I already know by your face what you about to say.
Well, I mean, it probably depends on the participants and what they will be wearing.
So when the ladies get up on it, hey,
so
that is a very good point.
That might be entertaining. See,
and Cardi B.
I don't want to see no dudes in no form. No damn pillow.
You got a contingency. My dog.
I don't want to see none of that shit. So I don't know a lot about this topic.
I know where you're going. I know where you're going with this in this direction.
That's the only way I'm going to go to a damn pillow fighting contest.
I will say this. It's always this big thing we have to this dilemma we have: time versus money. On one hand, I wouldn't want to pay my money, but at the same time, I would watch it on TV, so I'd be spending time. But if I spent my money, I'd be spending time and money. So no hell in way hell I spend money, but I sit down and watch TV for a little bit, especially because I can't lie. I would lie to you if I said I've never sat down for like 10, 15 minutes and watched those slapping contests, right? This is the stupidest shit in the world.
Right.
But it's kind of funny. And you looking at people slapping the hell out of each other. I was like, I don't know what talent that is to stand there and let somebody slap the shit out of you, but it sure is entertaining. And so I, as a kid who used to be in pillow fights, and I used to take it a little bit too far because I mastered the duck and the twerk
and counter,
and come back. Boy, I used to turn some necks. Wow, hit you right in your face. So I'm assuming if it's gonna be competitive, man, we're gonna see somebody get their ass tossed up and
what's next, bro?
Some spit fly. Hope they got mouthpieces, because if they pillow fighting with anybody with my mentality, boy, they gonna get the shit knocked out of them. So
man, I'd watch, shout out to the PFC pillow fighting championship.
The pillow fighting championship. Boy, I tell you,
they had a speed walking. They got a speed walking competition. Y'all saw that? That's in the Olympics, I think. Now.
It's in the Olympics. Oh, okay. So we off the rails right now, man. Hopefully y'all still listen.
Bro, Google
y'all need to Google speed walking contest. When
no, I've already seen it.
Walking, oh my gosh. I'm like, I don't know how they got any hips. They gotta have hip problems. All of them gotta get their hips replaced.
It's funny.
They walk. I know y'all on the pod. Y'all know it's part of I can't see it, but I probably just embarrassed myself. Good God Almighty, boy! But they got a cup stacking contest. So why not pillow fight?
Go on YouTube to watch them embarrass yourself. Smash the like button.
Listen, and I can't lie. If y'all haven't seen those slapping contests, they pretty. I say like this. They fire, because somebody getting fired not from their ass smooth. Oh my goodness! I've seen some people get knocked slap out literally.
Oh, the pillow fight.
Oh no, the hand fight. You talking about the hand slapping, right?
Oh, hand slapping, yeah.
Oh yeah. Ooh. For real.
I'm like, man, but that's what they signed up for, man. And some people get knocked out, and good night. So that's the way it goes, man. And not to say we tapping out on y'all, but that's our time, man. And this is Boxing Vibez TV. We went off the rails, man. So when we go off the rails, we already know it's time for us to check out. So hopefully,
we gotta go. We gotta go.
Take
Check out time. Y'all know about it too.
Hey, y'all already know, man. Y'all holla at us on every platform.
Apple, Spotify, Stitcher.
You name it.
.com. Know what I mean?
Red Circle. Blue Circle. You name it, man. We
Modify, Spotify.
We tell y'all this all the time. And
cross the T.
No, oh man, I know them fellas. We're like, we don't know y'all, man. We've been telling y'all. Y'all ain't listen.
Nah,
we got it, man.
All right, yeah, we out.